Okay, let's see here. Today is Stewardship Sunday. Pause for applause and cheers. Oh, wait a minute. No? Couple laughs. It's more than I get at home. Okay, so while the kids are getting ready for the first part of the Christmas pageant and the St. Nicholas gifts tradition, you will note that the National Stewardship theme for 2022 is Our Church, Our Home. And you may have seen banners that I think are up throughout the church. I was thinking, what do we think of when we think of our home, where we each live? And home is where we retreat, right, to find comfort and security from the outside world. But these notions are equally applicable to our church as a refuge, and here at St. Peter and Paul. We're so busy and we rush around, but here in the church, in our other home, we're comforted in a special way by the traditions of our church, and not only the 2,000-year-old ones, but also the one of them that we're doing today, the Christmas pageant, and the St. Nicholas gifts tradition. So what strikes me as significant is not the theatrical value of the pageant, but the ritual or the continuity that it represents, as each child goes through basically the same production, but in a different role each year. And then the pageant continues with new kids, as it has for dozens of years. You may have taken part in it, and now our kids and grandkids do. So I think we can be joyful that we are preserving that tradition, and perhaps the founders of this church would be pleased with that. We need to do so on a broader scale. My family and I were traveling a couple of years ago to Texas to visit my in-laws, and we decided to go sleep in Oklahoma City. And that was Saturday night, and Sunday morning, there was a church in Oklahoma City. I didn't know that, a Greek Orthodox church. And we went there, and we were warmly received in Oklahoma City. We knew nobody there. And they talked to us. They knew we were from out of town, told us to come to coffee hour, and in speaking with people, we even found out that the presbyter and some people knew parishioners from this church. So, I mean, talk about a second home, your other home. You can travel anywhere and still be at home anywhere in the country. So we need to be preserving, I think, all of our traditions and our most important things, the very church itself, these buildings and grounds, and also the ministries and the programs that we provide for each other in this parish. We have a common purpose, within this church to strive for holiness. And we are blessed with all the work that has been done by those who have come before us and those who labor now for the love of the church and our fellow man. Those of us who are adults who are here, we've seen all that the world has to offer, the philosophies, the material things, staying comfortably in our homes. And yet at this time, right now, we are all here, right? We're here in our church, our home. And I was also thinking for myself, the church has been one constant in my entire life. And that's why I think we need to pause this season and consider what else we can each offer to our parish. We should think, is it our turn? Is it my turn to step up and help lead or to contribute somehow? Okay? Do not be shy. We need you. As we were visiting this year over Thanksgiving in Austin, Texas, my in-laws, there is a huge Bible church. Huge, beautiful, all sorts of facilities and ministries and volunteers, and leaving aside what some people may think about these kinds of organizations or churches, the fact is I had to marvel at what is possible, looking at it, what is possible if people want to be involved and or want to give, right? In our case, in our church, we have the truth with a capital T. We have the genuine traditions. So the question is, what will we do with them? Well, how will we take care of our home? There are so many ministries available at our church. Join one of them, please. As you may have heard, we do not ask you for separate donations for capital campaigns. There's no more trays passed in the church. Next spring, we will be replacing the church's original HVAC system. This year, we replaced the roof and repainted the dome. There's a multi-year plan to address the ongoing maintenance of the church, all without a separate capital campaign. So, have you pledged for 2021? Thank you. Don't forget to fulfill it before the end of the year. Have you become involved this year? Thank you. And are you pledging for 2022? Thank you. Let's finish the year strong. You may have already received your pledge cards. Fill them out or do so online. The Stewardship Committee, we ask that if you are able, 3% of your income as our stewardship to the church to cover everything for operations and capital. We know it's been a rough couple of years for a lot of people. Take advantage of the monthly payment or the weekly payment options. Reflect, when I used to at least work out, or when I do occasionally, I always try to do as much as I can and then a little bit more. And so what I think also is that reflect and pray on what you feel comfortable giving, and then give a little bit more. Now in the spirit of the shopping season and the credit cards and all these new apps that are now there that are buy now, pay later apps, I'll say pledge now, pay later. Okay. May the Lord enlighten us in our stewardship. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Alex is a member of our parish council, stewardship committee, and also the chair of our parish safety committee. So we appreciate all your time, talents, and treasures. At this time, the chanters will begin chanting the St. Nicholas hymn, and the kids will process in for their program.
An example of the faith and life of humility, as a teacher of abstinence you did inspire and lead your flock, and through the truthfulness of your deeds were exalted by greatness through your humility, uplifting all, and by poverty gaining wealth. Father and higher Archnicholas, intercede with Christ our God, that our souls may be saved.
At this time, we invite the 7th and 8th graders to speak about St. Nicholas and what he means to them.
Saint Nicholas was born sometime around 280 AD in Patara, near Myra in modern-day Turkey. His parents were very pious and had vowed to dedicate him to God.
He lost his parents as a teenager and used his rich inheritance to give to the poor and those in need. His reputation became that for kindness and generosity, and never took credit for what he did. He expected nothing for himself in return.
He was a strong defender of the Orthodox faith and performed many miracles and good deeds, becoming known as Saint Nicholas, the Wonder Worker.
Saint Nicholas is considered to be the patron saint of sailors, children, the oppressed, wolves, and pawnbrokers. He saved people from famine and spared the lives of those innocently accused.
St. Nicholas is a protector of sailors because he came to help the sailors when their ship went into a storm. All of the sailors thought he was physically with them, but it was his spirit that was truly there. St. Nicholas tells all the sailors if they devote their life to God, then they could be more clear-sighted.
Another miracle performed by St. Nicholas was when he came upon a woman with a withered hand one day. Stopping, he approached her and laid his hand on her. He prayed to God and made the sign of the cross. The withered hand miraculously healed. This was the earliest miracle attributed to St. Nicholas.
One of St. Nicholas's most famous stories is when he helped provide dowries for 3 impoverished maidens. Without dowries, they were unlikely to marry and were destined to be sold to slavery. However, St. Nicholas anonymously tossed bags of gold through their window so that they could pay off their dowries.
St. Nicholas attended the First Council of Nicaea in May 325 AD. There he gained support for Trinitarianism over Arianism and was one of the bishops to sign the Nicene Creed, which we recite every week.
St. Nicholas relics are located in the Italian cities of Venice and Bari. Many churches in Europe, Russia, and the United States claim to possess small relics such as a tooth or a finger.
Children around the world know St. Nicholas, for he brings gifts and treats in December. He is beloved in many countries and among many peoples. We celebrate his feast day on December 6th.
St. Nicholas inspires us to give gifts to others.
Giving a gift lets me show someone how I care about them.
Giving a gift lets me help others in need.
St. Nicholas inspires us to give gifts beyond what we have.
Giving a gift lets me share my Orthodox Christian faith.
It's important to give gifts like St. Nicholas did to help those in need and make others feel good.
Giving a gift is like spreading happiness and joy.
Giving a gift makes us feel our purpose.
St. Nicholas shows us that giving is better than receiving.
Giving is sharing what God gave to us.
Giving is sharing what God gave me that I'm grateful for.